apparently Mongo is a gamer. So we didn't know that about you, Mongo. We didn't know you were 12. So
Asteroids and Donkey Kong.
that's what I used to play.
I'm aging myself.
Galaga, Space Invaders,
Yep.
Missile Command. I never liked Pac-Man, but those were my games. So okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. On this episode of the John 1911 podcast, Mongo and Kraken, NFA paperwork update, Hypervelicty Ammo, and we've hired a property manager. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. This is Kraken, Mongo, and Marky. It's been a while since I've had to say 3 names. This is episode 408 of the John 1911 podcast. Today is Friday, July the 3rd, 4:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I thought I would have a little experiment to get three of us together to see if the software could still handle it. And apparently, Mongo has a secret gaming life with a secret gaming microphone. He screams at little teenagers when he's shooting them, I guess, in first-person shooters. So it screwed up our beginning there for a while. But looks like we've successfully got it going now. And then eventually we'll get Danny in here and see if we can't get a 4th. So we've never done 4 before, but we're gonna get it going. So, all right, since everyone's kind of new to this, who wants to go first? How are you? How are insert name you doing? Who's going to go first?
I'll go first. I'm doing fine.
That's so brave. Kraken, how are you?
I am sweating my balls off.
Oh. Well, okay. Let's do a old man weather talk. The temperature here at the range right now is the high up for the day. It's 94. Mongo, what's the temperature down there in Texas?
I'm sure it's above 90.
Above 90?
It's 74 in the house. How about that?
Okay. And Kraken, what are you sitting at?
95, 96 with a heat index of about 115 with the corn sweat.
Oh, corn sweat. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing that's been kind of surprising. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time talking about weather. I'm surprised at how bad the weather is in Nebraska all the time. Like every time I talk to Kraken, it's like crazy snow or it's crazy hot or he's got wildfires and tornadoes. And this is all in like 6 months. Like it's unreal how bad the weather is out there.
Oh, so Kraken's in Nebraska?
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought you were in Nevada. It starts with an N,
Yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah, well, it's Nevada. So, I don't know.
So since January, I have had a blizzard, an earthquake, a tornado, and a wildfire. If a volcano pops off somewhere in Nebraska, I am moving to Alaska and living in an igloo.
I'll tell you what, someone needs to go to confession. It sounds like the end times out there. So,
getting close to hell already, huh?
If I go to confession, I'm pretty sure the Pope would convert to Baptist.
Hey, you know what? Hey, the Pope's on a spree. He's been excommunicating all kinds of people. He just kicked out a bishop. So, I'm sure it would just be an extra line item on the document to kick us out. So
there we go.
So, all right. Well, I guess the first things first. Mongo, I've been so busy with stuff around here. We have hired the property manager has come on board. It's a part-time job. He has a budget of about $12,000 for like the growing season, and they've been hitting it hard. They've put so many chemicals down. I'd be afraid to go outside. My balls might fall off. Wall cancer. They're burning all the weeds and like reclaiming the parking lot and the driveway. Like every day it gets more and more dead. They've attacked the pit. They've worked in the shooting shelter, and So basically what they're responsible for is from the road, the range barn, the parking lot, the 600-yard shooting position. They'll do the pit, and they'll do the picnic shelter, the shooting shelter, and they'll do the 100-yard shooting position, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically anything beyond that, I'm still cutting with the tractor and bush hog. So it's been a change having other people here, but it's really freed up a lot of time for me, which is why we're getting more podcasts in. So, but I've been so busy. Mongo sent me something that didn't make any sense. Did you say that they're changing the NFA now for no photographs?
All right, back. This is, of course, before Biden stuck his fingers in the ATF. They had, if you had a corporation or you had a trust, you didn't need fingerprints or a photograph on the Form 4 that you were filling out, or Form 1. And they're attempting to go back. Supposedly, they're attempting to go back to that. Now, they mentioned that it was for suppressors and SBRs and stuff like that, SBSs. And they kind of left out the word machine gun in that list. So I'm not sure if that's going to be, all the stuff I own. I have never filled out fingerprints or a photograph for all my collection.
Because you've been doing trust or corporations?
I've done corporations because Texas, when I first got my first NFA item, you couldn't get a LEO sign off here.
It was like that in Ohio for a long time.
Right. So, and then somebody said, hey, you can do it with a corp. And I said, oh, well, there's a nice LLC I'll form. And went hog wild from there and got poorer every year.
So I'm gonna do a landman joke. It's Mongos, machine guns, and cattle. So it's like cattle. I'd have to come up with a name so stupid nobody would have it. So that might be the title of the podcast: Mongos, machine guns, and cattle. So yeah, but they changed that. So I guess all the members, was it retroactive that all the? So I guess it wasn't, because you said you've never done.
No,
I've never done fingerprints.
I've done it
pictures.
I've done it for my concealed carry stuff, but I've never done it for any of my NFA transfers or my Form 1s.
Okay. So, like, for me, I mean, like, for a long time, for years, we couldn't get, and actually, the sheriff just died. So, Simon Lease, my old nemesis, who I always respected, he hated me. But he literally just passed away. He was 90, was he 92, 94? And he's Republican, but he wouldn't sign shit. So people were always doing trusts around here. Actually, matter of fact, it was so bad around here when the state of Ohio passed CCW. If you were a deputy working for him, and you hadn't, quote, earned your gun belt with your job at the sheriff's office, even though you could go and get a CCW permit, he forbade it as part of department policy. You worked for the sheriff's office and you didn't have your, quote, gun belt, your state certification to carry a gun, and authorized, you could not carry a gun off duty as a civilian. CCW. That's how jacked up it's always been around here. So like, I mean, every NFA item I've ever done has been fingerprints and a photograph. And actually, my original NFA stuff, I rolled ink fingerprints. So that's how old I am. So yeah. So this is this proposed, or is this a done deal, or can they?
This is one of those. Right now, they've got it for comment for the public to comment on it.
So they can change it. They can just deem it so they don't have to pass a law or a bill.
Well, if you remember, the LEO sign off was, first of all, their own little bullshit that they added to the Form 4, and so it's stuff they brought in and out where they've. A corporation or a trust is an entity that has quote, the same rights, legal standing or whatever for NFA paperwork.
Sure.
So you couldn't do it. I was told originally the whole reason that exemption was in there was because of all the all the corporations breaking labor. Remember back when they used to break labor, when they'd bring a bunch of Pinkertons or whatever in with machine guns and stop it. That's what I was told. I have no idea if that's true or not.
I don't know. I mean, that seems a little hokey, but that would, I mean, like when they would do what was it? What they call those? The Coal Wars? What they call those in West Virginia? They brought in they brought in like belt-fed machine guns and were shooting each other down there in West Virginia, not far from where I'm from, like I think in the 30s.
This was way back then, and that supposedly several corporations, the big corporations that had troubles with labor, had machine guns on their books, and they had to have a way to, you couldn't fingerprint the whole damn company. So the corporation was,
and you can't fingerprint just do the CEO. Well, CEOs change. Now you got to redo all this. I mean, the Supreme Court has ruled. Remember, there was the what was the case? It was about the corporate money. Was McCain? Was it the McCain-Feingold? The rule, basically, the Supreme Court ruled that corporations have a First Amendment right, just like everybody else, and you can't stop them from spending money to express their opinion as a corporation of what they would like to see happen politically. So if they have First Amendment rights, corporations have Second Amendment rights, or at least are subjected to Second Amendment, like jurisdictions. So as a corporation, not the individual. So that's
the timing is suspect, didn't it? That ruling was handed down and immediately this came out. It may be ATF heading off another future lawsuit at this point.
The rule, I don't, it wasn't McCain-Feingold. I can't remember. I'm skipping my.
It was this last week. It was on campaign finance, wasn't it?
Oh, no, this one goes back. No, this one happened during the Obama administration. There's been another one?
Yeah, I thought it was one of the rulings this last week from the Supreme Court, wasn't it? Something about. Oh, maybe I'm screwed up. I don't know.
Kraken, save me. You've been watching the news. I've been busy.
Yeah. So basically on that decision, the Supreme Court ruled that corporations could not be limited on the amount or the way that, like, say, DNC or RNC could use that money. They could funnel it to whatever candidates they want. They basically took the limits off of what Kraken LLC could donate to the RNC, and it took the gloves off of what the RNC could then do with that money. If they want to, the way I understand it, if they want to give it all to one candidate, they can. If they want to spread it around to various elections in different states, they can. It just took a lot of the regulatory process and the limits off of what corporations could donate.
I just want to see this entity being discussed on the SCOTUS blog, which covers the Supreme Court. I occasionally check it out. I want to read the Krakens, FRTs, and Cattle. That's the LLC. That's what I want to. That's what I want to read on the thing. So I didn't know. I didn't know that. I guess, I mean, if I've heard correctly, that the birthright citizenship is still in place, and everyone expected that not to go away because of the precedence that has been in place for so long. What was the other one that they ruled on? Temporary, was it temporary protected status? Mm-hmm. They rule on that basically. So there's going to be mass deportations. So,
and there was a Second Amendment ruling come out last week also. It was a case in Hawaii dealing with concealed carry permits. So there's a lot of misunderstanding about what that actually means. So the long and the short of it, they came out and they said that the government cannot put blanket restrictions on public property. So what was evidently happening in Hawaii was the state was coming out and saying you can't carry in Buffalo Wild Wings, whether Buffalo Wild Wings allowed it or not. Individual entities can still say no guns on my property, but the state can't do a preemptive blanket. You can't carry in restaurants. You can't carry in department stores, such as that. The state can't rule on basically private property carrying.
Did they have any carve-out exemptions for hospitals?
I didn't see anything in the decision addressed on that, but the state would have an interest in public safety, so I would assume that like Nebraska, you can't carry concealed in a hospital.
Most hospitals are considered basically public places because they usually get state money. Yeah. But wait a minute, in the past, over this past winter, wasn't there some kind of ruling where somebody struck down restrictions on CCW and post offices?
I don't recall that.
Yes. Yeah, that was struck down as well.
So was that
But
was that a circuit court?
I'm sorry, that was not struck down. That was a post office change by the administration. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not formally in law yet.
But that's always been constitutionally questionable because it's like, it's a post office, and it's like because now the post office is pseudo private anyway, but they're really, for legal purposes, they're still government. Yeah. Like if you get a crash with a postal truck, you lose because it's a government truck. But the argument is it's a government entity, and the lobby is open to the public. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like if you go behind the counter, maybe they can restrict you from carrying a gun, but you can go into the lobby. And it's like, well, that's always like, you can't. Well, it's like, constitutionally, it's like, I don't know. But that was always been very specious. So I'm going. So I'm just kind of okay. So I guess we're up to date on the SCOTUS stuff. What was that now? Who said what now?
I was going to say, my orthopedic surgeon was a friend of mine, and he would carry on his rounds in the hospital.
Oh, dude, yeah.
He would pull up he'd come into my room and he'd pull up his top, whatever that thing is, the scrub top. And he have a gun belt on with his holstered 911.
Okay.
He just giggled because he loved it so much.
Yeah. I carry in hospitals, and I was carrying in a hospital the other day. So yeah, it's like whatever. Like, I normally, like, if I have a doctor, or I kind of feel them out, like on the whole gun thing. So, but yeah, it's like whatever, dude. I remember I swan dived through a magnetometer at a place that I'm not going to say where right now, but it was not state. And I was looking at it, and I'm carrying, and I'm looking at the situation. I'm like, there is no way that thing is on. There is no way that thing is on. I'm like, yeah, we're going for it. Fucking went through it, looked back at all these cops, and they all left their guns, and I'm like, fuck you, bitches. So, yeah, sometimes you can kind of shell it out, and it wasn't hit. I'll tell you where. Well, I remember. Well, then we'll get off this. I remember I was at this place, and I'm getting to back, and I'm there for work, and they have the big walkthrough magnetometers, and I go, what the hell do you guys have magnetometers for? And the guy looks at me like I have three heads, and I'm the dumbest person he's ever talked to that day. And he goes, hip hop night. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's like I didn't think about that. So, well, that's how it is around here. So, all right. Anything? Well, Kraken, you have been buying and trading and selling and dealing with FRTs. And did you also tell me that some gun gave up the ghost? Was it a Bear Creek or some gun you've given up on? What was that?
This is where you get to say, I told you so. Because we've had plenty of discussions on my welfare AR builds. And
garbage.
Yes, but my theory is, for something I'm just going to throw in the truck for a ranch gun, something I'm just going to go out on Sunday afternoon, a $300 Bear Creek upper. If it runs, great. If not, I get rid of the piece of shit. And I really haven't had a lot of problems with them. Same way with like Anderson lowers. They work just fine for Sunday afternoon gun.
I mean, if you want a brand name, Wilson Combat sells lowers. And they're
uppers.
not, but they're not crazy expensive. And like, I get you. I mean, we can probably make that happen for you as long as you shoot it.
Yeah, I would. But like, on the cheap lowers, I go buy, when I find them on sale, I buy 3 or 4 at a time, throw them in the toolbox, same way with parts kits. And, they're Sunday afternoon guns. They're nothing that if I had to hit the street again today, I would take out and bet my life on. But, when you can build one for $400 or $500 and go out and play with it and then kick it down the road to somebody else, great. So remember a while back, I said, tell me I'm retarded if I bought a 458 SOCOM to deer hunt with. And you immediately said, you're fucking retarded. Well, I went and did it anyway because I had a guy give me a whole bunch of 458 SOCOM ammo. So I thought, well, I'll just buy a cheap upper and, I got a 50-yard deer gun because that's the farthest I can shoot deer where I hunt.
Now, wait a minute. There is an exception to every one of my rules. And the rule is this gun is stupid or this caliber is stupid. Oh, crap. I now have a case of this ammo. I guess I have to buy the gun to shoot it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, like that's like guy code rule number 41 or something.
Yeah, so, it's like when I order up brass from somewhere, I order up 45 ACP brass and there's a 10 millimeter mixed in. Now I have to buy a 10 millimeter. It's a rule. So I bought this piece of shit, Bear Creek Arsenal 458 upper, Cerakoted and everything it was on sale for like $230. Should have been my first clue. But I've run a bunch of their stuff and never really had any problems for what I use it for.
Isn't Bear Creek, didn't they just go out of business?
No.
I think they did. I think Bear Creek Arsenal just went out of business. Keep talking and I'll Google it.
If they did, it's just been the last couple days. But
okay.
So I sat around on this upper for I don't know, probably a month and got a bug up my ass. Like, I got to go out and see if this thing shoots. And slingshotting the charging handle, it would not even fully go into battery. I finally dicked around with it enough that I got it to fire one round and then it wouldn't even extract. So I took it apart, cleaned it. I even threw it in the sonic cleaner. You could just gravity drop around and it wouldn't go but about halfway into the chamber and it was all scratched to hell. So I got pissed off, sent it back, and just ordered a Tromex upper for $458. So I've got that now. But yeah,
who's Tromex? I never heard of Tromex. What's that? That sounds like a government contractor.
You mean Tromex?
Or Tromex? Maybe I didn't pronounce it right, but yeah, out of Texas, I believe.
Is that near you, Mongo?
I don't know, but Tromex is the last name of a guy that is pretty good at AR stuff.
Yeah. So when I was kind of Googling to troubleshoot this Bear Creek, his name came up on, we'll get this bolt face, whatever, So he had a really good reputation online. So I ordered one up. Haven't shot it yet, but you can at least drop gravity feed rounds into the chamber and they fully seat and you can reach in and flick them out with your finger. Where with the Bear Creek, just gravity feeding it, wedged it in hard enough that you had to use a cleaning rod to get it out. So
yeah,
we'll see what I get back from Bear Creek, but it's going to go down the road and be somebody else's problem, I think.
Okay.
Is this 458 reloads or 458
factory ammo?
I need to know friends like yours then.
Who makes 458 factory?
You had to ask that.
I mean, is it made
SDR or something like that? Basically,
somebody making out of their garage.
The company, no, it was the company that kind of helped pioneer 458 SOCOM.
Okay,
I actually know the guy that made 458. He no longer lives here, but he used to live in the area, and he's an engineer, a chemical engineer, actually.
Really?
He worked in the oil refineries, and he's
cattle.
overseas now.
And cattle. But I tried the factory. I tried factory ammo. I have some reloads. They all did the same thing. I wouldn't even go in halfway, just gravity feeding them. So I sent it back to Bear Creek. We'll see what they do with it. But I've got this other one, so that's going to be my deer gun this year.
What's the bullet weight on 458? I don't remember.
You can go anywhere from 250 grain clear up into like 400 and 450 grain subs.
Also, you can actually get like up to 405, like a 4570.
Yeah.
Does it really have 4570 power?
By the book, it does. I don't have any practical experience with it yet, but you start looking at reloading manuals and start comparing numbers, and yeah, it's pretty close.
Factory loads, though, not like government, like trapdoor safe loads, not real.
Oh no.
Okay.
And you're getting right up there. It'll just edge out like 450 Bushmaster according to the book. So I can push 300 grainers right at 1,800 foot per second without getting into, stupid red line reloads.
Okay.
Little CFE black and 300 grain Barnes TTSXs and butts right up against 1,800.
The only experience I have with 458, it isn't really my experience, is when we first, not when we were first out here, but relatively close, but we've been out here a long time now, so it's been 10 years. We had an acquaintance out here at the John 1911 range where I'm at now, and he reached out, and he's a retired politician. And there was a local politician that I was told was a former Marine, and he, quote, really likes them long shots, unquote, and, wants to come out and shoot. And I'm like, all right, he just wants, he wants to shoot some guns. He's got a 458, he's got a 6.5 Creedmoor, and he just wants to, get some stuff ready for deer season. And so they show up. There's no one else. I mean, I'm here. No one else is here. And I'm just like, I don't want to hover. I don't want to be that guy. I'm like, hey, you guys are good. You do what you want to do. And, he's down there like at the 100 for, 30 minutes. And he's not shooting a whole lot. And there's a lot of tinkering, and finally I'm like, I just kind of because I see him getting ready to shoot, and it's a flat shot at 100, and I see an impact that is 30 feet high off that 100 yard, and I'm like, holy shit. So go down there. Long story short, this guy may have been in the Marine Corps, but he basically confessed to me that he's been talking out of his ass and to his buddy, and he's like, I shot irons in the Marine Corps 20 years ago. I don't know about these red dots. And I'm just like, oh fuck. And his red dot was loose. He had it's probably one of these Bear Creek guns. He had this 458 AR that the red dot was all jacked up, and he had a magazine where I guess you have to cut away the front. You had maybe a 223 magazine. And you had, maybe it's a 308, I don't even know. But he had to cut away the front, near the front lip of the magazine, and it looked like he had cut this so jankily with, I don't know, a Dremel. It looked like you see like in the Jaws movie when the surfer goes missing and all they find is the surfboard, and you see the bite with the teeth marks missing out. It's like, that's what it looked like. I mean, This was a complete shit show.
Yeah.
And I got him on, and then I was like, I ended up having to throw him off because he tried to take his 6.5 and he tried to shoot it 500 yards standing offhand. And I know he couldn't shoot it 100. And I was like, oh, it was terrible. They've never been back. I've never heard. It's a next county over, and I've never heard from them since. So that sheriff's office doesn't talk to me. That county doesn't talk to me. I think the word went out. They're like, stay away from that fucking John 9/11 assholes.
Yeah.
Trying to kill people.
You do have to relieve you don't have to, but it really helps. First, you want to put a big bore follower in an AR mag, which just centers the round in the magazine versus offsetting it, like a regular 5.56. And then I'll take my Dremel and I'll half moon relieve just a little bit on the front, because sometimes they'll want to just catch that lip. But it's very little that you relieve it out. And a lot of like the Lancer mags already come relieved. But I've seen guys just like, God, you must really get off playing with a Dremel tool or something, because you just whittled half a magazine away.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's all kinds of crazy stuff out there.
Yep.
Mongo sent me a video from a website, or from, a social media account on Reddit called the McDojo Life. And I guess it's a training school, and it looks like they're civilians, and then the civilian, he's shooting a handgun, he goes trotting forward, and then he gets down he lays down on the ground, like probably on like a piece of plywood, and all of a sudden the instructor's putting rounds right in front of him in the ground, like he's like getting ready to go to Iraq.
Looked like he clipped the guy's gun.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, shit. I have to watch the video again. I didn't see that.
Well, he's pointing to his gun and stuff. First of all, it looked like a third world country this was in.
Yeah. That definitely that was not in America. Yeah, there is no way.
So, yeah, to give you that simulated return fire stuff, he returned fire on him, almost on him, to simulate it. And
so he shot his gun. I mean, you know what? Like, the gunfire was close.
It's not a clear enough video to tell, but it's sure like he was pointing at the fact that his gun may have been clipped, or at least his gun was now dirty, at least from all the bullets that landed in front of him.
Yeah, he was definitely shooting within inches of that gun, like at the arc. Like, it was like, we'll put it up it'll be in the comment section on the website. So, all right, Mongo, we got to talk about this one. I sent you a video from a guy. I don't know. I'm afraid if I click it, it'll start playing, and I don't want to mess up the podcast.
You're talking about the guy from Task and Purpose that is no longer Task and Purpose, or whatever it is, or whatever that.
So that guy. So whatever he's doing now, and he was talking about. Well, first I saw Larry Vickers had posted publicly saying that he had heard from a reliable source that Delta had used some kind of 6mm round on the Maduro raid. And I don't know, I can't remember which one it is. And then this guy is doing a video talking about this RFP for this hypervelicity ammo. And I've heard rumors of this. Basically, they want to try to take the technology for the.
They wanted to turn a 5.5. They wanted to turn a 5.56 into a 600-yard cartridge for penetrating armor.
Yeah,
and they were going to do it by blasting the pressure on the damn thing way up.
And I guess they're gonna do their. Well, here's the thing. So I sent this video for the listener, because this is what happened. This guy, he's going on about this, and then he starts mentioning various contractors. Like, I think he said Sons of Liberty Gun Works, and I'm like, okay, I didn't know they were in the game. And I know it's going to offend a bunch of the AR guys, but like, I don't really follow it that closely. And I think maybe he may have mentioned something with Geisley.
Yeah, Geisley he mentioned, yeah.
And I sent it to you because it wasn't super technical, but it was kind of high end. And then your response was, tell the listener.
It was to me, it sounded like the way he read it, at least. It sounded like the contract was written for something that was already existing, that Special Forces had started using enough of it that the bookkeeper people decided to get involved and said, no, we need to start bidding this out. And so they wrote a specific, very narrow contract for bid to supply this, where it's what they're wanting to do is they've written it so narrow that the people who are already supplying is going to be supplying afterwards.
And this contract, this RFP, I'm calling it the RFP, is coming out of Crane, which is like right next door. We've seen other stuff come out of Crane. So like that's pretty, if it's coming out of Crane, that's pretty serious. And so is this where I'm a little confused. Is this, because I hear people talk about 6mm arc. This isn't 6mm arc. This is something else.
This is 5.56 by 50 by 45. This was standard ammo.
Because I thought Vickers said that they were using some kind of 6mm round.
I didn't see the Vickers deal. Okay. I missed that. But this was specifically to use stock dimensionally stock ammo for the 5.45. I mean, the 5.56. Okay. And basically, they're jacking the pressure up, and they're claiming that using, they got these dual metal cases that they're using on the XM7 to drive the pressures up on that. So they're basically wanting to transfer this technology to 5.56.
Well, see, I've heard two different versions of it, and maybe it's not. I've consumed two different versions, and it could just be a technical omission or not understanding of the source that I'm consuming. So there's the bimetal, but then I'm also seeing talk of supposedly this 5.56 hypervelocity ammo is just going to use an all steel case with a new alloy.
It could be that too. And this is, it could be that as well. The problem that I'm not understanding here is when you design a firearm, you have to assume that your brass, or in their case, a steel case or whatever, fails, and you got to take that bolt load on the bolt. The gas load and everything on the bolt. You can't sit there and say the case is going to contain the pressure if you go above what your bolt is designed for. And I am not understanding how they're saying that they're getting away with this because they're going to be using some sort of metallic or bimetallic cases. You still got to assume that case is going to rupture. So you got to say that gun is still going to hold up, even though that case isn't doing nothing to contain the pressure.
Do you think maybe they have like some kind of blowout hole like you do on like these bolt guns?
No, as I say, something is not making sense to me. And I don't know how they're getting away with it.
And there's still two more X factors in this. The first one is because in that video, they're making reference to new metallurgy and technology to make the barrels last. And like they were talking getting 8,000 rounds, possibly.
Yeah, that's that Sons of Guns stuff that the big controversy that's been out, that whenever that Sons of Guns or whatever the name of that company is, has been selling to the government their special magic metal barrels, which were lasting longer. And then they were selling civilians, quote, the same rifle, but it turns out the barrels were not the same stuff. Okay. And everyone's gotten butthurt over that controversy.
And then the other thing is, this RFP out of Crane, supposedly this gun can still take regular 5.56 ammo. Regular pressure ammo. Like you can put M855 in it.
Yeah, and that's another thing. If you're looking at a gas system, How, that's non-adjustable. It's supposed to take this and perform the same. How are you jacking the pressure up to, I think they're quoting 80,000 or more PSI versus, around 60 or 55,000 supposed to be around the max. Well, and then they got a recoil mitigation and they got a weight deal. So the Special Forces is saying they don't want the extra weight of the XM7 plus the magazine limitations that comes with that rifle as well.
Yeah, nobody does. Well, Kraken apparently has been looking, and he is saying that, Kraken, did you confirm the Maduro rate ammo?
Yeah, it's a Larry Vickers Facebook post. I remember seeing it here just not too long ago, but I just looked it up, and it's 6mm arc that he is claiming sources close to the raid said were used.
So they're also effing with 6mm arc, and then are also playing with this super duper hypervelocity gun. And then I can't help but feel, so the Army just announced that the production line for the XM7 or the M7 rifle is now all being converted to the M8 rifle, which I guess they're going to chop the barrel down to 10 inches and 10 point something, and then they're going to remove the folding buttstock hinge to try to cut some weight off this gun. And
they're trying to make it less of a pig.
Yeah, and it's still a pig, and like you can really see that the writing's on the wall that this isn't going well. And here's another one. I remember, because we covered it over the winter during SHOT, FN has been hinting around that they've got some kind of hypervelocity type ammo situation that they're working on, and maybe they're also working with Crane on this, but they've got some kind of like super duper caliber or gun that's closer to 5.56 or 6mm that they're trying to push to beat this 6.8 stuff.
Well, after any major war or global war on terror, you got a lot of people coming out of the military that are looking for jobs, and they're looking for jobs at the various contractors they dealt with during the war. And now all of them have come up that, and then you got a bunch of guys with nothing to do in the military. Not as much to do in the military. And they sit there and start to write proposals for, hey, let's do this, let's do that. And it's, well, we were on the gravy train of spending money before shooting at people. Now we're going to do the gravy train of spending money on new stuff. And it sounds like it's going to be this is going to just be several generations. To me, I'm guessing, it's going to be several generations of new crap that never gets adopted type stuff.
So you're not even confident. Like, I think the M8, M7 program's in trouble, but you think the hypervelocity is not going to go anywhere as well?
Not past SOF. It's not going to go into a general issue, but SOF, I'm guessing it's already SOF is using it. Crane and them. And as I say, that contract was, the way the contract was worded, or it sounded like it was worded, it sounded like to me that they were already using this stuff and they wanted the same guys supplying it. All they had to do was formalize the fact that, they released it for bid. Nobody bid on it except the company that's already supplying.
Yeah. So I thought that was a really interesting take that I hadn't considered, because I just haven't paid attention to this, because I thought this stuff was kind of like they're going to develop it, and you came to me and basically were like, no, dude, this is written like they've already got a gun and they're just writing the paperwork to match the vendor. And I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Just, the number of, and I don't know a tenth of the stuff that's sold these days, or not sold, but has gone through the works. But if you think during the GWAT time period, there was 50 caliber development for cases that were half plastic. And then the barrels for helicopters are going to be carbon fiber on the outside with a steel liner. and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
And
I forgot about. Remember I forgot all about that plastic ammo.
yeah, you notice
And
all this stuff is quietly evaporated away.
yeah, and the argument for the plastic 50 stuff was, well, it's really going to benefit. It's really for aircraft,
Right. It's to lower the weight load on the helicopters because, weight's everything for a helicopter.
and that just disappeared.
Oh, yeah.
Huh. Oops.
That was always
Somebody made some money.
well. That's the deal. Somebody makes money doing R&D work on it, and that friends of friends get paid out that way. But they don't ever solve the issues. Like there's no brass carrying the heat away. That and the chamber gets so nice and hot it starts gluing or melting the plastic and gluing the round into the chamber.
Yeah, you'd probably try to airflow and maybe open bolt and, I don't know. But obviously it didn't go anywhere. So, well, Kraken.
Yes.
You were doing some trading. What is it you were, you had sent me a picture of a Smith & Wesson 1911. Asked me what I thought of them, and I said they're decent guns.
Mm-hmm.
At least they used to be. And what were you going to trade the guy?
So originally, go ahead.
No, because I can't remember what you. I just trying to set it up. What happened?
I had a new inbox Gen 6 G45 with a Steiner MPS on it. And I was working a gun show with a buddy of mine, so I threw it up on the table and thought, oh, somebody offers me stupid money, I'll let it go. And a guy come along with this 5-inch stainless Smith & Wesson with the laser grips on it. I don't know if they're actually CTs or not, but same design.
Mm-hmm.
And we tried to hammer out a trade, but I'd always heard that the Smith 1911s were decent quality, but I had never shot one, didn't know anybody that ever had one. So I thought, well, I know a guy that'll probably know. So I sent you a quick message. Long story short, we couldn't quite come to terms on the trade, so I just bought it outright. Shot it a few times. It's got a really nice trigger on it. Really like it. I'm gonna work with it a little more, and it'll probably go in the carry rotation. So
I'm assuming it's 45. I've never seen. I mean, I've been out of because I don't remember them ever making a 9mm. Not that they didn't, but I kind of got out of the single stack 45 1911 game unless it's those Experiors. So I don't really pay attention to what's kind of happening anymore. So all right, sounds like a nice. Was it? Is it stainless or is it? Most Smiths are stainless. Are they still mostly stainless guns?
Yep, stainless. Just kind of not real fancy by today's standards. It's got some front of the slide cocking serrations, skeletonized hammer, skeletonized trigger. Otherwise, just kind of a base 1911 with Novaks and laser grips.
What was he valuing that at? I mean, compared to a Glock 45 with a Steiner red dot on it. That's not a cheap gun. Right?
No, and we couldn't come to an agreement on money coming back my way, so I just bought it outright. So I've got 800 in it. It was brand new in the box. So
okay, didn't even fire it.
No,
okay,
yeah, I didn't get hurt on it.
Okay,
but a really interesting one I picked up. I sent you just a stock picture because I hadn't taken pics yet. But that Hammerly target gun in 22 Magnum.
Right. Yeah.
Screw-on barrel, so you can switch between 22 mag and 22 long rifle if you can find a long rifle barrel.
It's like one of those Olympic type guns, the biathlon guns, where they
kind of straight pull bolt.
They cock it with their finger.
Yeah. The interesting thing about it is the trigger group is a straight up Ruger trigger group.
So you're talking about one of those toggle guns.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And it uses Ruger mags. So the trigger is okay, but not what I would consider a good trigger for a target gun. So I'm probably going to throw that BX target trigger in.
Wouldn't
you need to suppress it.
Wouldn't most of those guns have good triggers? It's kind of like that's kind of part of the deal, right?
Yeah.
Who made this gun?
Hammerly.
This is an actual Hammerly gun, and it's got a bad trigger.
Well, what they've done is they put the Ruger 1022 trigger in it. It's better than what you're going to buy if you just go buy an off-the-shelf 1022. Not as good as their drop-in 1022 target trigger that Ruger makes. It kind of splits the difference. So I'll probably wind up putting the target trigger in it. It's in 22 Magnum, but it's threaded, so I can suppress it, and a real nice walnut stock, beaver tail forend, so you can bag it up nice. So yeah, I'm kind of interested to see what it'll do. That was my neat pickup for the gun show.
Is it easy to get barrels for it, or are they expensive? Or
I haven't priced them. From what I've been able to find online, the 22 long rifle barrel is kind of unobtainium right now. And then for the magazine, they've got a spacer you just put into the magazine well to put the long rifle magazine in, so you can switch back and forth.
Yeah, I remember looking when those came out. I looked at them. I thought it was be a really neat suppressor host.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm going to screw my little Gemtech 9 on it just to see how quiet it'll be. But I am not aware of 22 Magnum sub ammo, but I'm going to start doing some research and see if it's out there.
Like, what would even be the point? Like, 22 Magnum subsonic would just be. That's like 5.56 subsonic. I mean, it's basically a 22. Like, it's not even worth it. I would think. I could be wrong. Mongo, am I wrong?
Well, no, you're right. I mean, you're basically same weight bullet. But what I was going to say is that if I remember right, isn't the barrel held on? It's threaded to the receiver instead of using the locking wedge like the 1022 does.
Yes, sir.
So there's no way to use a 1022 barrel in it.
No, it's a proprietary barrel, so it just screws on. Kind of reminds me of a not so obnoxiously ugly Savage 110 type of setup, where it's got a big barrel nut.
I hate to interrupt you two, but there will be no sir on this podcast. Thank you very much.
I spelled it with a C and a U.
Okay, all right. Talking to Mongo, come on now. So.
Did I say sir?
No,
I did.
Kraken called you sir. I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Well, I am his senior, so.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Paul McCartney. Okay, so Sir Mongo. I don't know. The podcast name might be changing. Might be Sir Mongo now. So,
but I did
Sir Mongo and
you, so it was more cur.
What was that?
I spelled it with a C and a U, so it was cur.
Okay, so
I'd be willing to bet, Kraken, that you could sit there and get a barrel machine for that. If you just get a 22 blank, and they could just copy the rear end of that 22 mag barrel, I would think that you could get one machine fairly easily if you can't find a 22 barrel.
Well, it's one of them. I've got a bunch of 22 mag ammo sitting around without a 22 mag host until I got this, so it's just kind of a play gun right now. I'm kind of curious to see what I can wring out of it accuracy wise, and I'll probably go shoot some squirrels and rabbits this fall with it. It's just a toy.
You know, we have a bullseye range here at the John 911 barn now. Keep that in mind, for later in the year. So
yeah, I'll have to bring it out next time.
Dedicated bench, 25-yard, fancy wood backer, and now I got dudes that even will weed whack behind it for you. So,
Kraken, what you need to do is get a 22 barrel and have it chambered in 22 short. And Wolfson makes a magazine for the 1022 that uses shorts.
Ooh.
And that would be a great, and then cut it down to like a 7-inch barrel and then suppress it.
So that'd be 2 stamps.
Oh, you already got the suppressor.
Well, yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I could just screw the Gemtech on.
It's 2 stamps at $0 for tax.
Yeah.
Well, Well, going back a ways, it wasn't all that long ago. I was of the mindset I'm not screwing with stamps, screw suppressors. I have no interest in them. And then
And do
I
you
went out.
remember what I posted when you said that? I said, welcome to the buying habit.
Yeah, that's all on Marky.
Look,
You
I don't have
haven't
a
hit
lot
the
of
machine
NFA
gun
stuff. No, I mean, yeah. Wait till you two meet. Oh my God. So yeah, like I guarantee you, somewhere in this conversation, because it echoes off valuable. Like Mongo's voice has a little attenuation to it because it's echoing off a $500,000 machine gun in the room with him right now. So.
Actually, only half the gun is in the room with me right now.
Okay, so you get a $250,000 discount on your Echo. Okay, great. So, yeah.
So I had no interest in suppressors. Marky went, a Harvester 30 would go really good on that Ed Brown if you threaded the barrel. And I got back from my first visit out to Marky's, and I had a Harvester 30 paid for that was a dealer sample within 48 hours.
I've been trying to play PsyOps with Marky myself, and the son of a bitch reversed it on me, and I ended up with an MP5 SD and everything else now.
Yeah, I was supposed to spend $7,000 or $8,000 on this B&T MP5 gun so I could get an FRT before Uncle Sugar clamped down on them, and I went over there and it was already sold, and then Mongo's got to go out and he finds one and and scoops it up. So now he has to send it off to get it modified to have it made an SD or something, right?
No, yeah. This was an SD originally, remember? That's why I ended up getting it.
Yeah, well, what is it you said you haven't picked up from the guy who does the HK stuff? There's some gun you said you haven't picked up.
Yeah, the HK 33K.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah, the other. Yeah, I'm sorry. The other expensive gun. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's cheap compared to the SD.
Yeah. Well, there is an SD. No, it's not an SD. There is a transferable MP5 for sale near me right now.
Yes, it's been splashed all over ARF.
Yeah, and $61,000 is I think what they want for it.
No, it's actually $49,999 over there at AIM Surplus.
Oh no! I'm talking. This is at a Black Rose across the street. AIM Black. So people who don't know this, there is AIM Surplus. I didn't know AIM Surplus had one, and then across it's almost functionally across the street. You go down American Way to the main road. You cross and basically you make a right and go down. It's there within. They are closer. Black Rose Firearms, which caters to a lot of the higher end guys around the country. They get like gold plated shit, all these weird stuff. And AIM Surplus are closer than like the length of the John 1911 rifle range. Like they're close. So no, I wasn't aware that AIM had an MP5.
Oh yeah, they got it advertised on their page, and everyone's talking about it. I don't know why.
Is it a?
It's a registered receiver MP5.
Okay, regular MP, not an SD though, right?
Not an SD, no.
Okay, is it an HK MP5 or is it? Like
it was built before '86. It was built off of a real HK 94, probably. They don't give a lot of history. They didn't say it was a pre-86 that had magically become a transferable.
Oh, yeah.
Those have been bringing big money, so I doubt it's that. But it's most likely they didn't say who did the conversion work or anything. But it's a dual push pin registered receiver gun.
Okay, so well, I'll tell you what. Since we're kind of dancing around this, and I'm curious because I don't know the answer. So you and I were talking about the B&T HK gun that I almost bought. And then it came out that B&T USA and B&T in Europe had a big falling out over money and the use of their trademark names. And then I thought I was reading or hearing, is it true that B&T USA has been making guns in the U.S. claiming that they're European, they're for original B&T, and maybe they're not? Have I heard that right? And is there any repercussions in the industry or the market over that on the collector market?
I don't know on the collector's market. I'm not much of a collector of B&T stuff, but I know it's been mentioned on some of the forums, which...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, who knows? That may be speculation or not. I don't know. But supposedly they settled the lawsuit, and then there was that meme that came out that they did, but they didn't. I don't know.
So what I just said about the accusations of them faking these guns, I didn't just make that up. Like other people are saying it. I'm not going to get a letter, right? Like, because I think B&T USA basically at this point is suing everybody, because they have to, because they're just in big trouble. So all right, I was just curious. So,
by the way,
you heard that they settled?
Remember I sent you that meme that showed they settled, but then somebody said but, so something apparently happened. I don't know. I haven't looked into it.
Yeah, I saw it, but I didn't know if that was real or not. I didn't understand.
I can only stand so much gun industry drama.
Yeah, like all those meme content, unless it's like something really funny that breaks through and maybe someone sends it to me. I don't like. I shouldn't probably say this. I actually like a lot of these groups on the internet that make these really, I guess they're called meme pages. Like they just make these really snarky, nasty memes about all the people in the industry. I literally just block all of it because, it's like, I don't want to say anybody in particular, but it's like if there's some instructor or some company and there's some thing going, I don't want to hear it. It's like, I don't care. It's like, it's none of my business. And, you don't
want to hear who Grand Thumb got pregnant recently?
Are you shitting me? Is this real?
No.
Okay. I mean, I remember there was some of that Grand Thumb stuff, and I was like, I don't fucking know. So, no.
It's become a general meme. I mean,
okay.
Even other gun tubers have been saying stuff about so-and-so's not pregnant because Grand Thumb hadn't been by or something like that.
Oh, really?
No, it's in polite fun to him, and I don't think he hadn't really made I don't know how it affects him actually, but he hadn't said anything nasty about it.
He doesn't seem to be.
He seems lighthearted.
He seems, because he basically, I remember he encourages people to go in his comment sections, and basically it's like a riot down in there. He doesn't even you could get down there and say crazy stuff, and he's like, "Knock yourself out in my comment section." He's always done that, and it's like, okay. I mean, all I know is I guess he's going through a divorce, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's his second one. And
how do you know that? How does everybody know this? I didn't know it was okay. Like, all right, see, we're doing it now, and I don't want to do this. So,
well, let's head up your FN49 real quick. I've researched it a little bit. Your stock doesn't have any mums on it because it didn't have any to start with. Apparently, the first batch of Venezuelan FN49s did not get stamped with mums on them, where mine does because it's part of the last batch.
So my gun is correct.
Right.
What about the shellac on the stock?
The shellac was some jackass that did that.
Okay, so that's why I got it cheaper. Like, that's why I didn't pay full FN price for it.
Right.
Because, okay.
Have you stripped the bolt out of it yet?
I have, dude. I've been so busy. I haven't even touched it. So
you didn't get your range monkey to do it?
No. I don't know. My range monkey right now is in Nebraska.
He unmuted himself for that one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So,
that's bait.
Hey, look, okay. This
fisherman recognizes bait.
This is the truth. The reality is, at some point, because I've lost my one gunsmith. He's no longer operating. We're not going to discuss that on the pod, at all. But so I really don't have. I don't really have like real support for the armory like I'm used to having. We used to have somebody over here that did a lot of that, and that person no longer works here. Now this gunsmith's gone. And, I'm not, look, I've hired some people. We've got a part-time property manager. I've got some vendors coming in, like doing cleanup, like in the range buildings now. At some point, I'm going to have to get some help with that. That's coming. And I hate to admit that. I'm hoping maybe it won't. Like maybe I'll have more time, but we'll see. We'll see what the rest of 2026 and 2027 holds.
It sounds like your specifications for your range monkey were deficient. You didn't include must clean all guns on site.
Yeah, well, so I break up guns into two categories. I've got what I call working guns, and I have reference guns. Reference guns have to. Well, there is a cleaning rack, but reference guns have to be cleaned because they can potentially go for months or years without ever being shot. So those have to be cleaned. But working guns that I'm using to train, or like if there's some guns that we're leaving, like for people to come here and shoot, those get cleaned just kind of as necessary. They stay dirty all the time. Like you just can't, like I can't detail strip a gun every day to shoot it every day or every week. You know what I mean? Unless there's some issue with it. It's like, well, we just keep them running. So yeah, but if I hired somebody, that would change. So,
well,
right.
Or
Nebraska.
just institute my policy. You shot it, you got to clean it.
You shot it, you got to clean it. Well, well, that's mostly me. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I need some help.
But that's why you hand the gun off right before you're done shooting for the day. Let them shoot some rounds. Therefore, they have snagged into the you shot it, you cleaned it realm.
Oh, I see. I'm the dumbest guy in this room right now. I now understand what you're doing. I'd end up have to clean all these guns. Like,
exactly.
Hey, you want to shoot this? Okay, now I get it. Okay,
last one to shoot it cleans it, bitch.
Last one, yeah. So, hey, look. In my defense, most people that come here to shoot bring their own equipment. So, we even have a designated. We have designated capacity for them to lock up their equipment with their own combinations that they only have access to. So like if they want to leave and go to lunch, and like if it's government equipment or if it's city equipment, like they don't want to be taken in their cars. So it can be left here and it's secured and they still have positive control over it. Like I can't even get into it. So, so I need help. So this is 26 is the year of John 9-11's getting help. So, all right. See, look, this was easy. We've gone over an hour. It was all good fun. We didn't all talk over each other. I broke my own rule. I talked over everybody, but, right? This is, we can do this.
Yeah.
Now we get Danny in here and see if this software will handle 4 people. We've never had 4 people on the pod before. And I don't know, is Danny done? Kraken, if Danny's done with his umpiring yet? Is he still taking balls to the nuts?
It's got to be pretty close because it's winding down around here. So I would think he's pretty close to it anyway, but I haven't heard for sure.
Yeah, I'm dying to do some politics with him on the podcast. So, All right. Well, we're going to call this one. So this wraps up episode 408 of the John 1911 podcast. Want to see number stories or pictures, links of anything we discussed? Please go to the website at john1911.com. That's JOHN1911.com. Remember, it's all about shooting guns and having fun. Everybody, have a good night. Say good night, Mongo.
Good night, Mongo.
Happy 4th, everybody.
See ya.